Hello everyone, how are you? And welcome to the Reset orientation session for ACCA Financial Management exam. This is your tutor Rizwan Mania. I hope you are doing well. I hope uh, this session will help you, should help you in further improving your chances of passing financial management. I want to congratulate, first of all, the students who did manage to pass, no matter whatever paper you were giving, but you managed it to pass. So it's good to see that you have passed. So those students who did not make it up, no worries, no issues. I know it's difficult. I know it is something that will disturb you, but you need to understand that it's a time for you to realize that you are not up to the mark. You are not up to the mark. You did mistakes. You did mistakes. You did something that was not acceptable for ACCA examiner, and that is why you are not able to make it. So you don't have to worry. You just have to improve. You need to come up with better things. You need to find out your mistakes. You need to find out the issues that you have done. So if you will work out on your problems, if you will work out on your areas, issues, definitely you will be able to make it next time. Okay, so now those students who are appearing for FM for the first time and you haven't given the paper, this is the best chance for you to uh, learn from the mistakes that others have done so that you do not repeat those mistakes. Okay. And those who are in the session or will watch the session later on and they were not able to pass the exam. So obviously, for you, it is very important not to repeat the same mistakes you have done. Okay. For you, the message is clear. Do not repeat the mistakes. Okay. Let's begin. My name is Rizwan Mania and I teach PM, FM, APM. I teach at a global level to hundreds of students, and so far 64 plus nationwide position holders were my students in these exams, and the count increases every quarter with people grabbing more and more positions. It is only because they follow the right instruction and direction and they end up getting these results. So I hope that this session will help you to figure out, realize, highlight the issues that students do in the paper. So what I've done, what I've planned in today's session is very important three things. Number one, I will be discussing the major reason for failures, followed by tips and tricks to overcome it. Number two, once I will explain you, once I'll discuss with you what tips and tricks you need to ensure that you learn. So to ensure that you learn those properly, we will do a practice question. So in this session, a free practice question you can solve with me. Third, I've invited one of the high achiever of VIFHE who managed to secure 82 marks in June 26 attempt. So the student will be with us and the student will be sharing her feedback, what she did, how she managed to grab such high marks. So that will again be a very important source for you to learn and implement things in your study plan. Because sometimes when we tutors guide you like this should be done, this way it should be done, so you guys do try to follow it, but at the end of the day, somewhere you think that, come on, this is an ideal plan the tutor has given me. But when you hear from someone who is just like you, not an AI, a human, your colleague, your seniors who have achieved similar results that are good ones, so then you tend to become more confident, and then it motivates you massively that if X can do, why not me? Right? So that will be a very useful input and feedback for you people. So let me repeat the three major agendas for today. Key reasons for failure, followed by how to overcome it through tips and tricks. Number two, a practice question to do the rehearsal of those tips and tricks. And at last, a quick short interview from one of the VIFHE's FM High Achiever of June 26. I hope the agenda is clear to all of you. I hope that you will remain connected with me till the end. And all these three things, or I should say all these three segments, will massively help you. So let's begin with the passing ratio discussion. Very common discussion. Everybody likes to do this discussion. Everybody wants to look at the passing ratios. So the June 26 passing ratio was 48% compared to March 50. So March passing ratio was on a higher side. June passing ratio went down by 2%, which is not very common thing for FM because usually it stays around 50%. But what is more important for me right now is what is the VIFHE's passing ratio based on the results we are able to gather right now till now is 60%. So this is good for me. This is good for VIFHE students because our students have managed to pass the paper in big numbers. And that's more important for me. That's more important for VIFHE that students in big numbers did manage to pass their exams. All right. So, yeah, that's it. So I think let's continue with the momentum. Let's continue to ensure that you keep on improving your results. You keep on ensuring that you pass, and let's maintain this higher passing ratio in the upcoming attempt as well. My target is not to look at the global passing ratio. My target is to ensure that we go beyond our current passing ratio. If we did manage to achieve 60% so far, so the target should be to go towards 65, 70, 75, 80%. And it is you guys who will help me to achieve this target. So I hope that you will help me to maintain this passing ratio. And let's now move on towards the paper-wise structure. let's have a quick basic look at the paper. You guys know already that it's section A that is tested in your paper. These are OTs, followed by section B. These are case style OTs, followed by CRQs in section C. So, this has a weightage of 30 marks. This also has a weightage of 30 marks, followed by two CRQs having a weightage of 40 marks. The paper needs to be completed in 3 hours, giving you an average 1.8 minutes per 1 mark from the time management perspective. And these are the key areas of your paper, starting from investment appraisal, moving towards risk management. So now I want to first bring all the general or generic reasons for failure in FM. Now you have to decide which fits in your case, and whatever the problem you see in your situation, you have to overcome that. Okay? So the general reasons for failure includes, number one, not understanding the question requirement remains a very big challenge for students. They are not clear about the verbs. They are not clear about the objects. They end up doing mistakes in verbs and objects because they are not clear what exactly the verb means, especially when it comes to CRQs. Their answer goes in some wrong direction. Their answer then is not according to what is required. Okay? Number two, or number three, in fact, time management. If you do not complete the paper, within the time frame, by force, you have to leave it. If you leave 5 marks, 8 marks, 10 marks, 15 marks, 20 marks, you are making things very difficult for your own self. You are making things very difficult for your own self. This means you are giving yourself less chance to pass the paper. So practice is very important that you have to focus on. Fourth, selective study. This is another major issue where you just focus on the areas that you want to cover, or because of lack of time, you decide on your own that, okay, this is something I feel will not be tested in the paper. It's my gut feeling that this will not come in the paper. I don't know what kind of gut feeling that is. And you leave the things. When you leave things, you end up losing the marks. Lack of practice. After result every quarter, we receive hundreds of students' queries, and a good number in that total is related to those students who say that we know we have failed, we know the reason for failure was lack of practice. So if you will not practice sufficiently, how can you reproduce things in the paper? So it's very important, very, very important to ensure that your practice is in the right direction. And you need to practice sufficient amount of questions. Then, failing to use brought forward knowledge. I know it's not very much relating to this paper, but yes, there are certain areas that you have covered at an earlier level of MA Management Accounting. You need to have those basics in your mind. Sometimes we do not give too much importance to those areas, and that is where lacking is visible on the day of paper. Then, very important thing and a very rich source of feedback and a huge blessing for you people is MEP. You might be wondering what MEP stands for. It's my exam performance report. Now, my exam performance report is a very useful thing. This is a special feedback from your examiner to you people so that you learn from your mistakes. This is a very important feedback given by your examiner, which includes a feedback in relation to 3 sections of the paper, like how you performed in section A, OT, section B, section C, CRQs. Secondly, it also highlights the time management aspect, how much time you took in section A, B, and C. Third, it specifically highlights your skill set in terms of application-based questions, the knowledge-based questions, the narrative-based questions, and the calculation-based questions. So, and yes, a very detailed feedback about CRQs as well, that how well you performed in 2 questions of CRQ. So all the students who did not manage to pass, go to your ACCA account, your ACCA portal, your ACCA exam portal, or your ACCA official portal, and do consider this my exam performance report. Do read it thoroughly to make your life super easier. I have recorded a video. The link is available, and it is also available on VIFHE's YouTube channel. This video you should first completely watch to understand how you need to analyze my exam performance report. Through this video, you will understand how can you analyze your own result and then use yourself as a test case and understand your lackings. This video and this report will highlight your weaker areas, your time management issues. So once those have been highlighted, because it's a blessing for you, then you work on those areas. You overcome those weaknesses. Your time and effort should be spent on those weaknesses first now, just in case you found out your business valuation was not good. So you need to emphasize on business valuation in the upcoming attempt. Okay? It is clear that your risk management was not good. Focus on risk management first. See, a clever, smart student will always work on his or her mistakes. If somebody is giving you a valuable feedback, it's like you're talking to the examiner. It's like you called the examiner and you asked him, can you tell me why I failed my paper? And he said, okay, I'll help you to figure out. And if somebody is giving you such a kind of feedback, what else you need? So yes, it will give you an opportunity to learn from your mistakes and then come very hard and pass in the upcoming attempt, inshallah. So do watch this video, okay? You will be surprised to hear that this is basically mentioned by the examiner that students who fail to recognize easy numbers face difficulty in passing the paper. Is it who is saying this? It's not me. It's not Rizwan Mania saying this. It's the examiner, which means it is a clear hint that your paper, 100 marks, are offering easy numbers. There are easy numbers available in 100 marks. So you have to capture those. You have to figure out those. You should wear the glasses like I'm wearing here. The glasses that should have the ability to find out the easy numbers, which are part of section A, B, and C. For that, I will again advise you to refer to my video by the name of Smart Paper Solving Technique, available on VIFHE's YouTube channel. You can just search by this name, Smart Paper Solving Technique video, and you will see a video which will give you clarity how to grab easy numbers, what are the minimum marks that you should target in section A, B, and C that will ensure passing marks for you. So far, I think this is clear. The students who unfortunately were not able to make up, they have to consider maybe one, maybe two, maybe three of these issues might be part of your system. Flush them out. Okay? Now, to overcome these, let's look at some paper section-wise tips and tricks. And after this, we'll solve a question as a rehearsal to understand, will these tips work? How these tips should be used? It's something giving you a hands-on experience that, okay, this is how it will be beneficial. So first listen to the plan, the tips and tricks, and then we'll move towards the rehearsal part. Section A. There are altogether 4 things for you. First, a very clear-cut message. Not to surprise you, not to create pressure on you. You need to cover entire syllabus, especially for section A. Because you know there are 15 objective test questions that examiner will test. The weightage of each is of 2 marks, which means 30 marks are from section A. We know this. The problem is examiner can test any area in these 15 OTs. Now, a very common area by the name of economic, environment, financial management function. This particular area is tested in section A at least for 2 OTs. So that makes 4 marks. Somebody overlooking this area, not giving importance, will end up losing 4 marks. So that's the thing to consider. Number 2 is time management. As I told you, that 15 OTs, 30 marks each. The allowed time per question on an average is 3.6 minutes, which means multiply this with 54, multiply this with 15 OTs, means you have 54 minutes to complete it. Now the question is, are you able to complete section A 15 OTs in 54 minutes? Is this possible for you? Number 1, you have to do rehearsal for that. So whenever you practice in a batch of 15 OTs. You pick a batch of 15 OTs every time, set yourself 54 minutes, Whenever you practice, just make a batch of 15 OTs and solve. And yes, making such a batch should be like 6 to 7, 8 marks for calcs, 6 to 7, 8 OTs theory based. A balanced batch. Now, let it be very clear that ensuring 3.6 minutes per question might be very difficult. But this is what you can ensure is that you complete 15 OTs in 54 minutes. Now, how that is possible? A simple answer is smart technique. Easy OTs first. So you can skim the OTs, solve easy OTs first. Once you solve easy OTs first, two benefits you get eligible for. Number one, you get you get marks, and that too quickly, and that too in less time. Now, this is the benefit. Now, just a quick question from you people, just to get your input, because you are very experienced now. You've given exams before. If there are 15 OTs, so approximately what do you think? How many OTs will be very easy ones to solve? You can come up with any number based on your experience. Yes, please. So I am looking at the chat box and waiting to see multiple suggestions. So far, I have received few, like 4, 5. Now you come up with the best number you think. Okay, I can see 6, 7. It's good that you guys are considering that easy OTs are more than 5 actually. But here, I will be very conservative in picking the numbers. What I'll do, I'll pick maybe 4 OTs to be super easy, which means 8 marks in my pocket, which means if these are super easy, so obviously you should not take 3.6 minutes to solve one question. Maybe you should be aiming to solve those in 8 minutes. Now, 8 marks in 8 minutes. Okay, let's make it 10 minutes. Fine, 10 minutes. Okay. So just understand the 2 further benefits that you will be eligible for. Number 1, if you manage to solve, let's say in 10 minutes, so the remaining 44 minutes you will be left with to solve remaining 11 OTs approximately, which means on an average, your time per question will be around 4. Okay. So your average time increased for those questions, and those will be moderate to high level questions in terms of difficulty. So you can spend more time, the first benefit. Second, you get very close to the passing marks. Now, if section A is for 30 marks, so the passing marks for section A are not 15, are 16 actually. 16, because each question is of 2 marks. Which means if there are 16 marks minimum in order to pass section A, more than 50%, so already you have managed to grab 8 marks. Now, what you have to ensure next is the next 4 OTs should be correct from the remaining 11. That's very much manageable. Very much manageable. From next 11, just 4 at least should be correct. So because you have more time, because you are already sure that the 8 marks are in my pocket, you can spend your time wisely, and within 44 remaining minutes, come on. If you agree with me, just show me your emotions in the Zoom application. In remaining 44 minutes, you cannot ensure 4 corrected OTs. Come on, no? You're not agreeing to it? From remaining 11 OTs, you cannot ensure 4 should at least be correct in those 44 minutes? No expressions from you guys. At least I need some emoji-based feedback from you people. Gen Zs, mainly, okay? So that's very much possible. And if it is very much possible, then just if you further manage to ensure are correct, you will get 16 out of 30. Now, it's a guarantee that you have passed section A. No matter your all remaining OTs, like 7 further OTs are not okay, you have done it wrong, at least you got 16 out of 30. So this should be the mindset. This should be a mindset. Never think that the paper 100% will be easy for you. Never think that everything you have done in the paper you should know. There will be some in-swinging Yorkers, unplayable deliveries, bouncers. All those you have to deal with. You have to wait for the easy delivery so that you can hit that for a 6 or a 4. All right? So I hope you understood my point here. Next, fill in the blank OTs. Please take care. Rounding of instructions, you might lose marks in rounding off. Ensure that you do not do this mistake. Okay? Learn the rules. How to round off to 2 decimal, 3 decimal, millions, thousands. Because if you've done everything correct, you just lose very easy numbers, man. That's not wise at all. All right? Then comes theoretical OT Qs, objective test questions. Now, what I always say that generally there are 3 types of statements given in these theoretical OTs. The first is out of the box. Out of the box. Okay? Out of the box. Second is a distractor. Third is the answer. Now, if you filter out the statements that are out of the box, can never be the answers, no matter whatever you do. Those are total out of the context statements. So what you end up doing is you make your life simple. You just confine yourself to the remaining options. That is, now you just have to take a decision between distractors and angels. Angel, yeah. D for devil or a distractor. A for answer or the angel. So now you just have to ensure that you do not get distracted by the devil and you select and accept the answer given by the angel. So the one that is closest to your concept will be the answer. So this is how you need to handle section A, theoretical OTs. I hope these tips will work for you. The final suggestion is pick 15 questions, like pick a batch of 15 questions every time you practice give yourself time of 54 minutes, and in selecting that batch, it should be a balance between calcs and theory, like 7 to 8, 7 to 8 mix. Tips for section B. These are OT case style questions. The first and the most important is read the scenario. Because these are scenario based, you should read the scenario. Now, these 5 OTs are not isolated ones. These 5 OTs are connected with the scenario. So it is very important that you read scenario and ensure that whenever you are solving these 5 OTs, you do relate things that are available in the question. Okay? Because these are not isolated OTs like section A. Number 2, here as well, you will face fill in the blank questions because again, these are OTs. Okay? Surrounding of instructions, learn it. You have ample amount of time. Third is complete in 18 minutes. So you know the background that there are 3 OT case style questions in the paper. And you know each has a weightage of 10 marks, resulting in a total weightage of 30 marks, right? Now the question is, how to approach section B? So there are 2 things that I want to tell you. Number 1, first, select a question or a case study that is more close to your heart. Now, what I mean by close to your heart, because I know there is no case study that is close to your heart. The only thing that is close to your heart is something I cannot tell you here. So the case study in which you are more comfortable with, it could be a risk management question and a business valuation question and a VAC question. So you like VAC more. You said, okay, I'll start with VAC case study first because I'm more confident. VAC is my strength. If you do this, what happens is you are, number 1, more confident. So there are chances that you will perform really good in that case study. Number 2, it will help you in time management. So you will be able to solve that not in 18 minutes. In fact, your target should be to solve within 18 minutes, which means it could be 17, 16, 15, maybe 12, because it's your strength area. Okay? Now, the second thing, which will also help you to solve within 18 minutes, is a case study that you have already selected that you will start first with, or whichever case study you pick to solve. In that case study, there are easy OTs available again. Now, what I mean to say by this? Any ideas? How many questions out of total 5 you believe will be the easy ones for you to solve? Yes, please. Any approximate idea? Out of 5, the easy OTs? Okay, that's strange that nobody considers that there are easy OTs. Thank God, I can see certain answers too. Okay, so let's pick up a conservative figure of 2 OTs to be super easy, giving you 2 benefits. Number 1, 4 marks in your pocket. Number 2, within less time. Now just imagine if you are able to solve these 2 OTs hardly maybe, okay, 4 minutes, for example. So as you're required to complete in 18 minutes, 4 minutes you will spend on 2 easy OTs that will give you 4 marks. The rest, less than 14 minutes, you will have in your hand to solve just next 3. Now, the important point is not that you have to solve remaining 3 in less than 14 minutes. The best thing here is, out of those 3, only one you have to ensure should be further in the correct category. One. At least one. Why? Because in order to pass in every OT style question, the minimum marks that you require is not 5, it's 6. Which means at least 3 OTs you have to ensure should be correct, and 2 were already easy ones that you did manage to do it quickly and correctly. So just one question in the remaining 14 minutes approximately you have to ensure should be correct. Come on, is this manageable? Ensuring that another one question, it should be correct within 14 minutes? Yes or no? Come on. Let's be honest about it. It's very much possible. So benefit 2 is just ensure that further one is the correct one, and that will give you further 2 marks, and you will at least grab more than 50% in one OT case style question. So what will happen? Number 1, starting from the strength case study, it will take less time, maybe 14-15 minutes. You can spend that surplus onto different or difficult case studies. Benefit number 2, starting from easy means you will grab close to 50% marks, and a small further effort will give you 50% marks in one OT case style question. And if you follow the same strategy for the second one, third one, at minimum, out of 30 marks, you can grab 18 marks, because 6 marks each for each case study means 18 will be in your pocket. If you grab 6, 6 and 6, so you have passed in section B as you passed section A by grabbing 16 out of 30. In section B, you will grab 18 out of 30, altogether giving you minimum 34 marks in section A and B out of 60. So your task becomes really simple and easier. Then, just assuming if you did manage to grab 18 and 16, so you are standing at 34 marks, which means a further effort needs to be done for minimum 16 marks to go to 50 out of remaining 40 marks available in a CRQ question, because section C will have 2 CRQs having a weightage of 20 marks, resulting in 40 marks for you. So your task becomes super easy, that just more effort needs to be placed for remaining 16 marks out of 40 to secure a pass, and that's very much possible. Are you with me, everyone? So now, what should you do in CRQs? Number 1, pick a CRQ again that is your strength area. Like one CRQ is from working capital and other is from investment appraisal, and investment appraisal is your strength. So which CRQ you will prefer in that case? You just went through or you just skimmed the requirements, and you're like, oh, I know how to work on NPV. I know how to work out, for example, I don't know, like any other figure relating to investment appraisal, maybe payback, maybe ARR. I know how to write theory. I'll start with my strength area. What this will do, this will save your time. This will allow you to complete before 36 minutes because the time available per question is 36 minutes. So like this, you can spend more time on the difficult CR. The first thing, I hope is clear. Now, other than time management, in CRQ, it is extremely important to break a requirement into verbs and objects because different verbs do have different meanings. Like the word state and word explain are not the same. Just in case, if you're meant stating the advantages of a technique, a certain technique, so in state, you just mention that this is the advantage. This is the advantage. Okay. Whereas in case of explaining, it is not the advantage that you are mentioning only. You also have to mention why that is an advantage. So thing that will be added here is the word why this is an advantage. So in explain, the emphasis is on why this is an advantage, whereas in case of stating it, you just have to mention that, okay, this is an advantage. So that is the difference between the verbs, because verb tells you the action that has to be performed. All right. On top of it, once you break a CRQ requirement into verb and objects, you have to look for extra requirements in one question, because usually they use the word and, which further indicates the extra requirements to be answered in a question, because your marks are dependent on answering all the requirements, all the sub requirements in one question. Let's take an example. For example, you see a question like discuss the reasons for soft rationing, soft capital rationing, and mention the alternatives available to the company for dealing with soft rationing, for example, or hard rationing, and mention the alternative available for the company to deal with hard rationing. Now, here there are two components to answer. Here there are two elements to answer. Here there are two objects to answer. Number one, reasons for hard rationing. Number two, alternatives available for the company to raise their finance. All right. So the verb is discuss, object is reasons, another verb is suggest, another object is alternatives available to the company. So there are two verbs, two objects. So the way you break the requirement into verb and objects, it gives you the clarity that you have to answer multiple objects, and to grab complete marks, you have to answer multiple objects. Now you can do it like this. For example, if they're asking you reasons, so you can use a subheading, reasons for soft rationing, for example, in form of a paragraph, reason 1, blah, 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 blah. Change the paragraph, reason 2, blah, 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 blah. Change the paragraph, reason 3, blah, 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 blah. And you can use another subheading to give examiner the clarity that, see, I also came up with certain alternatives, and a subheading based on the element or the object, and then writing in form of a paragraph, blah, 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 as alternative suggestion. So it gives reader the clarity that, yes, I did ask for reasons. I can see reasons. I did ask for element relating to alternatives, and I can see in the answer. So it gives you, as an examiner, a very positive vibe. No matter what rubbish you have written in the paragraph, at least as a starting point, you will be very positive about your answer. I hope this is clear. Done. Then when it comes to calculations in FM paper, it is important to carefully structure it with proper workings to be shown in your spreadsheet. Lot of things are part of spreadsheet when it comes to FM, like the calculation of IRR, NPV, ARR, any working capital calculation of discount, maybe factoring, maybe credit extension. All should be well clearly presented in the spreadsheet with proper reference to the workings that you have done. Okay, so it is important to learn these skills of spreadsheet, as spreadsheet is a source of advantage for you. Spreadsheet will save your time if you learn the techniques. And the way I cover in my portal, in my content, I definitely believe this should massively help you guys. All right. Okay, done. For theory, simple questions, simple English, simple answers. You do not have to put extra pressure on yourself to demonstrate some difficult jargons. Now, to the point, according to verb and objects, in form of paragraphs, simple English, considering it's not a grammar test for you, answer neat and clean, beautiful, nice one you to present. Alas. So my friends, I hope these tips for section A, for B, for C will help you. And while you practice, you have to remember these. And while you do the rehearsals, you have to ensure you use these tips and tricks. So what do you think, Gen Zs? Are these tips useful in terms of giving you clarity how to approach the exam? And these days that you have right now in your hand, all these days, whatever you practice for section A, B and C, don't forget to follow these tips. So guys, so far, happy? Feedbacks, everyone. Great. All right. Now, it's time to do a short, quick rehearsal to see whatever tips we have learned, how to execute it, so that students who do their rehearsals before the paper, before the exam, you have a lot of days left. Just try to use these and see how useful these are. Let's practice a question for your clarity and understanding how to approach it. There you go. So we have a question here, and this question, if you quickly observe, is a question for section B, OT case style question. Now, in this question, if you observe, my friends, it is very clearly mentioned that there is a scenario followed by 5 OTs. So you have to find out the answer for each and every OT. Because it's section B, so what we need to do, we need to ensure we read the scenario plus these 5 are connected with the scenario. So without wasting further time, we will read the scenario. D company is considering raising some new finance. Okay, try to understand the scenario. It's a case study. They want to raise new finance. Okay, but there is a disagreement at the board level. How to best proceed? There is a disagreement that, okay, which option should we opt for raising the finance? The managing director thinks that the company should retain control. Okay, now just understand the situation, the condition. Company should retain control in the hands of existing and loyal shareholders. So they do not want to lose the control. the finance director feels that the gearing level, okay, should be allowed to increase to benefit from tax relief on interest. Okay, I hope you understand the real meaning behind this. That one, in fact, the managing director wants to ensure that we do not lose control of existing shareholders, which means how do you lose the interest of existing shareholders? Any idea? Okay. So yes, you will lose control if you raise equity, issuing new shares. So they do not want to do this. Plus, finance director says that, okay, let's go with debt. Let's go with debt. Let's increase debt because debt results in tax saving because of interest. Okay. The existing equity is quoted at $4.2 cumulative dividend. Now, this is very clearly mentioned, cumulative dividend, okay? The share price. With an imminent dividend of 16 cents due any day. This is clear that they haven't paid this dividend yet. They haven't paid it, okay? The company earnings have grown at a fairly steady rate of 8% over recent year, but the expectation are for growth to be 2% better, 2% or 2% points, okay, 2 percentage points better in the future. Okay, got it. The company's KD is 4% irredeemable bonds, which were issued at 5% discount of $95. Okay, and these are irredeemable. They have a nominal value of 100, but are currently quoted at $80. Interest having okay. The company's cost of debt is 4% irredeemable bonds, which were issued at 5% discount of 95. They have nominal value of 100, but are currently quoted at 80%. Sorry, $80 with interest having just been paid. The corporation tax rate is 25%. All right. Clear, everyone? Now, let's start with the first question. Assuming the business wants to retain control. So see, they have mentioned this very clearly that business wants to retain the control, okay, in the hands of existing shareholders. They do not want to lose the control. They do not want to dilute the control of existing shareholders. How should it seek to raise the new finance? Okay, let's look at the options. Remember, they do not want to dilute the control. So the options are a placing of new shares via local loyal broker. Now, my question is, if you issue shares via placing, which means you're issuing new shares privately to small investors or a large of or a small group of investors, so will this dilute the existing control of the shareholders? Yes. So this is not the option because they want to retain the control. This will dilute the control, so it is not a wise one. Number two, a further public offering of shares. Now, public offering is what? Public offering is via stock exchange you are sharing or issuing the shares. Via stock exchange. This is again very dangerous approach because through stock you're floating shares via stock market to large number of investors. This can massively massively dilute the control of existing shareholders. So not a wise option. A right issue, a right issue is basically issuing shares to existing shareholders, where it is expected that 95% of the existing shareholders will accept the offer, which means the 5% will not accept it. And hence, again, there is a danger that the ownership will be diluted for the existing shareholders, because this right issue will not be taken up by the existing shareholders 100%. So there is a 5% who will not opt for it. Maybe they can sell their right to some new shareholders, and that can result in a dilution of control. So that's not a valid option. The only option that will intact their shareholding is new debt issue. Halas. So this question, to be very honest, the first two options are regarded as out of the box. Come on, everybody knows it, out of the box, because these are never possible to be the answer, so flush them out. Yes, there was a slight confusion between C and D, in which one was a distractor like right issue, because if existing shareholders will take up the right 100%, it will not dilute their shareholdings. Now, this was a distractor here. And D was the answer. So, angel, devil, answer, distractor. Who will decide? How you will decide? Your concept, clarity will decide the answer. This is how you make your life easier. This is how you flush out of the box and make your life easier by just focusing on the remaining options available. So I hope D is the correct one and you will agree with me. Let's move on to the next question and let's see what the question is asking us to do. Assuming the business wants to assuming the business wants to maximize the tax shield on your finance. Now, what is tax shield, first of all? If you're not clear about the term, if you're not clear about this jargon, tax shield, you will not be able to find out the correct answer. The tax shield is what? Come on, guys. What is tax shield? It is the benefit that the company earns by going with debt finance, because interest is a tax allowable expense. And when it is a tax allowable expense, it results in tax saving for the business. So the more interest you pay, assuming you have sufficient profits to cover that interest cost, the more interest you pay, the more will be your interest cost, the more will be the tax shield, which means the more will be your tax saving. You will enjoy, okay? So let's see which options will allow me to grab maximum tax shield. Everyone, be with me. First, placing of new shares and 10 million of preference shares. Now, is this a valid option to grab tax shield? First of all, placing is equity finance, no tax shield. Preference shares, I know preference shares is something we treat as a debt, but we are not getting any sort of tax shield on that. On preference dividend, there is no tax shield. This means this entire option is out of the box. Flush it out. Can never be the answer. Halas. Number 2, accepting a VC offer, venture capital offer, which includes 5 million of 4% redeemable bonds and some shares. Okay, it's a combo of equity and debt finance that venture capital does offers you. But again, it is giving me limited debt finance, 5 million debt finance and having 4% coupon rate, I will get some tax shield, but I still need to look at the other options. Maybe other options may allow to grab more tax shield. So I'm not directly saying no, but I need to look at the other options. So let's go towards the third one. Sell redeemable debt with a market value of 12.7 million market value, whereas the nominal value, because you pay interest on the basis of nominal value, you work out interest on the basis of nominal value, you apply the coupon rate on the basis of nominal value. So it's 12 million nominal value loan note with an interest of 5% on which you can work out tax shield. The redemption value will make up 25% of the market value. Now, tax shield is what we are concerned about. So for tax shield, the important figure is 12 million having a coupon of 5%. This very much makes it clear that option B is not in the contest now. Option B is out of the contest now, because in option B, the amount of debt finance that I was able to grab from the VC was 5 million at 4% rate. But option C is more lucrative, more attractive, because it is giving me higher amount of debt finance, plus the coupon rate is high as well at 5%, which clearly means C will give me more tax shield, because the amount is 12 million. On top of it, the coupon rate is also 5%. So considering C, B is also out of the box. Not a valid option, because B also gives you some equity. So khalas, A and B, flush them out. Now it's a contest between C and D. So let's go towards D and C. And C. Oh, this is not that C, okay? Let's C means let's look at option D. Sell 120,000, and here you need to be very much clear. Sell 120,000. It's not the value of loan, it's the redeemable loan notes. 120,000 redeemable loan notes, assuming the nominal value per loan note of 100. So if you multiply 120,000 redeemable loan notes with 100 nominal value, you end up getting the finance of 12 million again. Now the people with weak heart would consider, would set into the trap of the examiner and will reject maybe this option. They need to first realize that it is 120,000, not the value of loan. It mentions loan notes. Loan notes. Okay? Loan notes. And that too, irredeemable loan notes. Are you with me, everyone? So, the value of loan is same. If value of loan in C is 12 million, in D in 12 million, I made it clear that these are redeemable loan notes, okay? The interest will be the deciding factor, and the coupon rate here is 5.25 versus 5% coupon in option C. Which coupon is better? If the value of the loan is same, which coupon rate is better? 5 or 5.25? Come on, guys. 5.25. A better rate, higher interest cost you will pay. But what we are looking here is not the interest cost. What we are looking is the tax shield. The higher the cost, the higher the tax saving. And because of this, C is my distractor and D is the angel, and D is the answer, because I have decided it on a very logical base that I'll go with D. Understood? So while solving the section B or any theoretical OTs, it is very important to determine the statements that are khalas, out of the box. Automatically, you confine yourself to the close one to the answer, in which one is the answer and one is the distractor, maybe two other distractors, and then you can decide by a very a concentrated understanding and see which is closest to your concept and select that one. Khalas. I hope this tip should work for you. Done, guys. Next comes fill in the blank. When it is fill in the blank, your answer requires precision, accuracy. And if they have given you some guideline for the rounding off, oh man, and there's no option available to take this for granted. You must take it damn seriously. Okay. So let's consider this on a very serious note. They want me to work out percentage cost of equity to one decimal place. KE. For KE, I look back to the scenario and will try to figure out which info will be useful for KE. So I think this paragraph is well suited for KE. This paragraph is well suited for cost of equity. I hope you will agree with me, everyone. Yes, no? Very nice. Now, this paragraph is well suited with cost of equity. So, just in case if I say cost of equity is crucial here for calculation, this paragraph is important. Let's read again. The existing equity is quoted at 4.20. What is quoted means it's the share price. But this is cumulative dividend share price because 16-cent dividend is due any day. The company haven't paid it. And when it is not paid, when it is about to be paid, they have declared it, they haven't paid it. So the impact of that dividend that hasn't been paid yet comes into the share price. It is part of the share price. So if that is the case, yes, it is cumulative dividend share price, which is 4.2, whereas the growth rate that they have given us was the company earnings. It says earnings growth rate was 8%, a very constant sort of a rate for recent years. But now the expectations are for growth to be 2 points better in the future. So we assume that if earnings will grow, our dividend will also grow by the same rate. So we assume the same rate of earnings to be used as dividend rate. And should I take 8 or should I take 2 or should I take 10? So it says 2 points better in the future means 8 plus 2 is 10. 8 plus 2 is 10. So 8 plus 2 is 10. So if I go with the question here, okay, if I solve the question, so it's very much simple now. Cost of equity, I need to work out the dividend that the company has declared it, haven't paid yet, is the current dividend of 0.16. This is the current. I want to make it D1. I will grow it for the next year. For that, I'll use the growth rate of 8%, 2%, or 10%. So the answer is pretty clear. I have to use 10% growth rate. Okay. Divided by the share price, which is 420 minus the dividend that has been declared, not yet paid, and that is of 16 cents plus 10% growth rate. Is this clear to all of you, everyone? Yes, say yes or no. Sorry. Okay. Doing. Okay. So, guys, are you all with me? Say yes or no. Okay, now if you're confused about the cent thing, you can even convert that into dollars. Like you can even write it 0.16 here. You can even write here as well 0.16. And this will become 4.2 in that case, okay? So either go with cent or the dollars. Uh, it's up to you. Now, the answer that you are getting here is 14.356%. Now, the rounding of instructions is one decimal place. You have to round up to one decimal place. So this means I have to just present one decimal here. If my answer has to be presented at one decimal place, which is this one, so I will look the digit after that, which is 5, which is 5. Okay. Now, the criteria for rounding off, either to round up or to round down, is simple. If anything is 5 or more, round up the previous figure, or if it is less than 5, round down the previous figure. So it is 5, which means this will become 14.4. Now, anybody opting for 14.3, 14.35 will lose complete 2 marks. Complete 2 marks. So if this is one decimal place, so look at the digit after that decimal, and for the criteria of 5 or more, the previous figure, increase it, round up. If it is less than 5, decrease it or keep it like 3 only, round down. Khalas. Done. Keep it 3 only, round down. That is 3. So I hope this is clear to all of you. No issues at all. Anybody still confused why I took 10% as the growth rate? So it was pretty much clear, evident from the question. 8% is what they were maintaining. 2% is what they assume will be better in future. So 8 plus 2 is 10, because it's all about future that you are considering while calculating cost of equity. So if they assume that it will be 10, go with 10 then. Okay. So I hope this is clear. And the answer is 14.4. I hope there is no problem as far as this calculation is concerned. Simple, sound, clear. Alas. Now, 14.4. Done, everyone? All right. Next question. What is the after-tax cost of debt? Cost of debt is after tax, okay? As a percentage to 2 decimal places. KD. Which paragraph relates to KD? I think this is the paragraph. For KD, you need to find out which source of finance the company is using. Is it irredeemable, redeemable, convertible? So it's clear that it is irredeemable, which is 4%. Okay. Now, friends, hello. This is redeemable. No, it's irredeemable. So what is the coupon rate? 4% irredeemable bond. Okay. And this was issued at 5% discount of 95. Okay. The nominal value is 100, but are currently quoted at 80 with interest having just been paid. Corporation tax is 25%. What needs to be done? I need to work out the KD of irredeemable loan note. For KD of irredeemable loan note, the formula is interest net of tax, 1 minus tax, divided by market value of bond. Okay. So if that is the formula, interest is the coupon rate, which is 4%, right? 4%. So always apply this 4% on the nominal value of 100. That makes 4 into 1 minus tax. Tax is 0.25. Okay. Divided by market value of the bond after interest. This is not cumulative. Had these been cumulative, we would have deducted the interest exactly in the same way as we have deducted the dividend in the previous calculation here to make this X dividend. But as it says after interest, so we'll take market value of 80 directly, and this should give you answer of 3.75%. Are you with me, everyone? You say yes or no. Clear? Okay. Very nice. Beautiful. Lovely. The calculation is clear. The calculation is clear. It is simple. I hope nobody will disagree with me as far as this calc is concerned. Okay. And what is the answer? 3.75% is the answer. Okay. Done. So automatically my answer, oh, I just need to check. Is it automatically 2 decimal places that I'm getting here? Yes, automatically it's 2 decimal places. Nothing to worry about. Simple 3.75. Alas. With me, everyone. Very nice. Done. So the previous question, 14.4 KE. Next question, 3.75 KD. Just observe one thing. KE was damn high than KD. The return required by equity investor is very high compared to the return required by the bank, for example. Okay, we know this. We know this. KE is expensive than KD. Say yes or no. Yes. Next question. Oh, surprisingly, it's the same question that I just, relating to which I just passed some information. It says the cost of equity for dominance co is significantly greater than cost of debt. Yes, this is significantly greater. 14.4 versus 3.75. Significantly greater. Yes, it's a fact. So, main reason for this. Oh man, why you are asking me, examiner? Why you are asking me the reason? Main reason for this. Main reason for this. My friends, let's read the options. The total risk level in the business. Okay, now what is total risk? You need to remember the term total risk. You may have covered, I covered this. Diversified portfolio theory. There is a total risk which includes SR, systematic risk, USR, unsystematic risk. Total risk includes SR, USR, systematic risk, unsystematic risk. Remember, come on, say yes. Total risk includes SR, includes USR. Okay. So is the difference total risk because of which KD and KE so there's a big gap? No. Why? Because remember, unsystematic risk is a one which is assumed that the shareholders will diversify on their own. Okay? Will diversify on their own. Right? So business is not interested in giving any returns for this USR. SR, systematic risk, they cannot diversify. Business want to provide return for that risk. Yes. Okay. So this is not the reason. This is not the reason for KD and KE huge gap. Okay. Number 2, specific risk in the business. What is specific risk? Is specific risk an example of SR or USR? Come on. SR or USR? SR or USR? Specific risk is part of unsystematic risk. Yes, because it relates to a specific business and hence it is USR. So again, the business is not giving any premium for such a risk, not providing return for such a risk, because assume that shareholders will diversify on their own. So no, specific risk is an example of USR. So again, wrong. Both the statements are out of the box. See, this is what I teach my students. Out of the box should be flush out. Flush them out. Now, devil and angel, tax shield. Yes, we agree that tax shield is one of the reasons why KD is cheaper. Yes, because the tax saving. See, this calculation you did, this was tax saving impact after tax. This is a reason that makes KD cheaper than KE. This is the reason that increases the gap between KE and KD. Okay. Now what? Right now, look at the difference. If this is 14.4 and this is 3.75, so there is a gap of 14.4, 3.75. There is a gap of 10%, 10.6% gap between KE and KD, which means KE is 10.65% expensive than KD. Okay. Tax shield is one of the reasons that makes KD cheaper. Okay. So I think this could be the answer, but I'll go with the last statement as well. The level of tax, so the level of systematic risk in the business. Now, is this the answer? Systematic risk, yes, I just covered it earlier. This is the risk that investor cannot diversify, and the company, the business will pay the premium for this risk to the investor, because this risk is a one that equity investors cannot diversify. So company will provide benefit of this risk to the equity investor for the risk that they are taking in the company, because they are owners of the company, because they are shareholders of the company, because they are entitled at the last in case of liquidation, because they are taking higher risk compared to the bank, because their risk is the highest one among all the sources of finance providers. So they are taking a higher risk. So they need a higher return. They need a higher return. They need a higher return. So is this a valid justification for such a big gap? It seems both the answers, but you cannot opt for both here. You need to select the best among the both. Best among the both. Let's quickly simplify. Just assume for a minute if there was no tax shield. Okay? Let's work out the KD. If there is no tax shield, just assume for a minute. Let's remove the impact of tax saving. Let's assume for a minute, if I ignore this, okay, let me just rewrite again and just do it like this. Let's ignore this for a minute. So what will be the answer? 4 divided by 80 means 5% will be the cost. 5%. If I ignore the impact of tax saving, still the cost of KD for the company is 5. With tax relief, it's 3.75. Still, if you compare KE of 14.4 with 5%, assuming there is no tax saving, so still KE is higher by 9.4% compared to KD. Which means, this means still KE is expensive. So the reason of tax saving is not the major reason for the difference in these two. It is a reason. It is a reason, but not a major one. You have seen the impact with tax, the cost is 3.75. Without tax, the cost is 5. There is just 1.25% impact of tax saving. Still, KE is very higher than KD. If I just assume for a minute that if there is no tax saving, still KD is cheaper than 9.4%. And the reason for that is none than the other, systematic risk. It's the risk that investor is taking in the company. It's the more risk that they are taking than the debt provider. The return they expect is a higher return. How I've justified it, you have seen it. I did give you the clarity between distractor and the final answer, C and D, devil and angel. And I've demonstrated this multiple times today in this session, that how you will filter out, flush out the out of the box, and how you will decide between devil and the angel. I hope you liked it. I hope you liked the explanation. I hope you like logical way of explaining things. I hope you like how to make things better, simple in the paper. So this question was a fantastic example with the balance of calcs and theory and the techniques I did in front of you, rounding off till the finding of the final answers and deciding between distractors and angel. And this clarity will definitely help you. Guys, happy everyone? Say yes or no. So this was a good rehearsal of the techniques that I wanted to demonstrate in front of you. I hope you understood. I hope, I hope, I hope it's clear. Everyone, I hope it's clear. Everyone. Liked it? Got it? Perfect. So this is what I want you guys to do in the paper so that you do understand how things needs to be done. And this was a good rehearsal. All right, guys. Now it's time. Now it's time to let you guys know how we teach at VIFHE before inviting the high achiever. The high achiever name is Hira. She'll be here at any time, at any moment. Do not forget to talk to her. Do not forget to listen to her experience. Do not forget to know how she managed to grab 82 marks. And if she is here, we will definitely take her into the session. Until and unless she's not here, I will give you a quick clarity how we teach at VIFHE. VIFHE, how we teach at VIFHE. So remember, we, we have our recorded sessions. Those who will join the Resit batch, recorded sessions, they will be able to grab it. They will cover through the recorded content, followed by the remaining live classes that are still left to be held. They will be part of these live classes as well. These live classes are very useful. You see the interaction today. You have seen the rehearsal of how I've interacted in the live class. This is how we do every week. So the one that are already done before, you can watch them as recordings. The one that will be still held, you can be part of it. Followed by e-notes, 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 which includes detailed notes, summary notes. It includes $1 million cheat sheets, theory drafting documents. All are super documents, $1 million documents to make things simple and clear for you, followed by a TTA model program we have, which includes test yourself questions to test your understanding. All are done on a testing platform, followed by the assignments every week after the live classes. These assignments will give you clarity in relation to what you have done wrong. These assignments will give you the clarity where to improve. So the assignments are still available. You will join the batch. You will get access to assignments. You will submit us with the feedback. Followed by a mock exam in the last month. 2 mocks. One will be the live mock. One will be the complimentary mock. The live is the one that will mark and give you the feedback. Mocks are very important for exam passing, to be very honest. Followed by 9 to 10 hours grand revision to be held in the last month. This will give you so much confidence before the paper that you will be very rock solid ready before the exam. And last but not the least, our teacher assistance services, which includes my TAs with me. We are happy to help you till the last day before the exam. I'll be with you people. So those who are interested in joining the Resit batch, most welcome. This Resit batch is exactly same as our regular batch, but this Resit batch we are offering at a massive discount. So it's a good opportunity for those who haven't passed the paper, in fact, by a higher margin. So they should opt for it. So do make up your mind and you can join. I think Hira Ajmal is with us now. I'll ask my admin team to please connect her and we will quickly have a short interview with her just to know what extraordinary she did to grab 82 marks in financial management. So I hope Hira is with us. Hira, can you hear us? If yes, please unmute yourself. Yes, Hira, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
I cannot hear your voice. I think you did manage to unmute yourself. Yeah, I can see your video now.
Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum assalam. Yes, Hira, how are you? Can you still hear me?
I'm
I
fine,
think
sir.
okay, great. Hira, congratulations on getting 82 marks in financial management. It's a huge achievement, to be very honest. I really want you to share your experience. And in this case, let's start with the first question. Uh, did you expect such high marks in FM when you were giving the exam?
Sir, thank you so much for
I think,
this.
Hira, your voice is not clear. Uh, Hira, I think your internet connectivity is not very strong. The voice is distorting a lot. Can you please check your internet connection?
Yes, sir,
Or
I
do
have
you?
checked it.
Okay. If it is possible, can you just relocate somewhere else? Maybe get close to the router if it is possible.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So, yeah, please continue. Just tell me, did you expect such high marks?
Sir, I was not expecting such a high score, but when I bought the VIFHE portal and I just went to the whole structure, I I was felt like it easy with your teaching style, so I managed it very easily.
Okay, that's great. Now, Hira, first tell me, are you working somewhere or you are just a full-time student?
No, sir, I'm just full-time student.
Okay, and you applied for one paper or you also gave any other paper with FM?
Attempt.
Sorry, can you repeat again what you said?
Yes, sir, I've prepared for FM paper only.
Okay, great. Now, Hira, just let the audience know what extraordinary you did, like in terms of practice. Uh, did you solve all the questions that were part of the portal, or you just practiced few questions? What were your strategy?
Sir, my strategy was simple. I just followed the weekly targets that Wifi gives, and I was also benefiting from the discussion group as because a good study partner help you much in your journey. So uh, the best thing about the Wifi was that they share the weekly targets, so I was not pressurized. I was not feel like I'm studying alone.
That's great. And what about the
And my strategy
practice?
was that I completed all the compulsory past video questions
Okay,
and the Kaplan kit. Also, I tried my best to complete the BP kit with Study Hub.
that's great. That's great. So you did study hub for section A.
Yes, sir, section A and B also.
Okay, and which kit you did use?
Sir, the Kaplan kit I completed whole,
Okay.
and the BP kit I done the section A and B.
Okay. So you did use both the kits almost like Kaplan and BPP. You did study hub, and the most important thing was compulsory past paper questions that you
Yes, sir.
did from the portal. And I'm very sure that when solving compulsory past paper questions, you did try the questions on your own, just in case if there was some problem, you went onto the video, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. What about assignments?
Sir, on the last day of the submission, I done the assignment, and it was very helpful for me to know how I am studying.
Okay. And what about mocks? Did you appear for the mock?
Yes, sir. I have attended the 2 mocks, one the live one and one the complimentary.
Very nice. And what were your score? What was your score in the mock, the live one?
Sir, it was in 80s.
Oh, and your final exam result is also in 80s.
Yes, sir.
Really nice. The best thing I just liked from your feedback was you were following all the protocols that we have given you guys. Like compulsory password
Yes,
question,
sir.
I always say you have to solve it. Study hub OTs, Kaplan kit, weekly targets were good for you. You did assignments, mocks. So
Yes, sir.
all the protocols that were required to be done, you have done that, and see the result is automatically more than 80% marks.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
I was
In
feeling like that I am not studying alone. The interactions, the Wi-Fi supports, it was very beneficial.
Okay. How you manage theory in the paper, and just let the students know approximately, if you remember, what was the percentage of theory tested in the paper overall, and how did you prepare yourself for theory?
Sir, basically, I'm uh, from the college. I was best in theory, but
Okay.
in but here in FM, your verb and objects, these help me too much in structuring the theory.
Okay. So as you said, you were already very good in theory. So did you
Yes,
draft the
sir.
answers while you were preparing for the paper, like CRQ answers I'm talking about?
Yes, sir. I learned from your videos the drafting theory answers.
Hmm. Okay. And what about theory in OTs, like in section A and B? Because people do struggle a lot in business valuation or risk management questions.
Uh, s- Sir, it was easy for me as I follow your theory drafting videos and learn from it.
Okay, okay, okay. Okay, what about notes? Did you went through the notes that I shared, or you did also went through study hub content for reading from reading perspective?
Sir, I covered the study hub content also and also your compile notes
Okay,
mentioned at the start in the part two.
okay. Considering you have done so many things, how many hours you to spend each day?
Sir, except the essential tasks like prayer, food, sleep, I study all the day
Okay, so
and night.
6, 7 hours from day one or in the last month?
Yes, sir. Sir, in the start, I was slow. Then I started take it seriously.
Okay. And once you became serious, you were studying for 6, 7 hours. This is the level of seriousness. Wow, that's great.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So, what will you advise students to do now as we're approaching the last month, and what you exactly did in the last month? How you planned last 30 days?
Sir, in the last 30 days, I switched to the revision mode. I focused on those areas which were weak for me and I practiced a lot on that.
And what were those areas? Yes. Can you mention what were those weaker areas for you? Yes, Hera, can you hear me?
Like, the risk management.
So you are saying risk management, right? Oh, I think it got disconnected. Uh, there is some internet problem at her end. I think she was saying risk management is what she did cover in the last month, and that this is one of the areas where people do struggle. I hope that we can get her back. Let's wait for the team to reconnect her if it's possible. So, yeah, I think she's here. Yes, Hera, you mentioned that risk management was the area in which you were struggling in the last month.
Yes, sir. But sir, the tricks and tips you shared helped me to secure marks in MTQs.
Do you remember the last days
In
where I
paper,
shared certain
one M. Yes, sir.
in the last days I did share certain documents in relation to how to handle these things and tips and tricks. So did you went through all those documents?
Yes, sir. The
Hmm.
past papers questions,
Yes,
the
yes.
summary
Analysis
of
of the
all the
past paper.
past paper
Yeah, yeah,
attempts.
yeah. Yeah, yeah. All right.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, so
I have read that and learned from.
okay. Okay. So, what one advice, the one most important advice you want to give to the students now?
Sir, I would say that just follow the weekly targets that VIFHE gives and the discussion group. A good study partner helps a lot in your journey.
That's great. That's great. So, study partner discussion in the group is useful, and the weekly planners is what you have mentioned multiple times was one of the most important things in order to help you to pass with such high marks. I will ask people to ask questions if they have in the chat box, if they need to ask anything, because the marks, as I said, it's a huge achievement whenever you score more than 80% in any ACCA paper. So if I can have a look at the chat box, if there are any questions student needs to ask, so I can ask those questions on your behalf from Hira. So if there are any, we are just waiting. You can ask questions if you want any clarity. As I said initially, that sometimes the plans that we guys share, you tend to think that this is ideal, maybe a tutor is sharing with us, it's not achievable. But when you see someone at your own level achieving such results, it definitely motivates you. So if you have any questions, you can ask in the chat box. Hera, which paper you are giving now in September?
Sir, PM from you, from
Oh,
VIFHE.
wow. So now I'll take a special care, and I'll make sure that you again secure more than 80 marks. How it is going right now?
Inshallah, sir. Sir, very good. I am now in decision making.
Okay, okay. So it is something you must be experiencing similar to FM in terms of the portal structure and everything.
Yes, sir.
Okay. I have one question for you. The student Shireen is asking in the paper, when you were giving the exam, which section you think was difficult for you? It was A, B, or C?
Uh, I think it was B because I less practice section B questions.
Okay, and if you can recall which topics did came in section B, if it is possible for you.
Sir, business valuation, risk management, and
Hmm.
one was from VAC.
Okay, 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 great. Okay, there is one more question from Abdi Rashid, I think. Have you done lecture videos with practice in the same time, or you done it separately? The question is, while you were watching the videos, you were practicing at the same time. like weekly targets achievement, or you did it separately?
Sir, I did it at the same time. If anything left, so I did it at the end.
Okay, great.
But
Uh, yes,
but
continue.
also I re- but also I repeat the question, which I think it was like I'm still facing difficulty. So I repeat that lecture again.
Okay, understood. Very nice. Okay, what advice you will give? This is the last question I'm taking. I'm not sure whether you will be able to answer this perfectly, but let's ask this question. What advice will you give a student who have joined late? Because when did you join the batch? At the initial phase?
Yes, sir, at the initial stage.
Hmm. Somebody who has joined a bit late. So which areas you think that person should target now, uh, before the exam?
Sir, selective study is not good. I think if they are motivated, so they can
Right.
do in 15 days.
Hmm. Right. So this means they need to spend more time, and if they are willing to do it, then they can still cover up whatever they haven't been able to do it. Right.
Yes, sir, if they have the patience and motivation, so they can.
Okay, that's great. Thank you very much, Hira, for being part of the session. It was really nice seeing your marks. I hope you score more marks, better than 82 in PM. And if you have any problems, any concern, you can directly, as always, message me. Congratulations to you and your family, and best of luck for PM. All right. So here we had a discussion with Hira Ajmal. She got 82 in financial management. Guys, you just need to keep in mind what she said. I just noted down for you people. Weekly targets were really beneficial for us, for her. Compulsory passive question that I always say that you should solve on your own and cross check with the videos if you want to. Study hub content practice she did. Kaplan she did completely, and BEP she did for section or B, I think, for both. And the she did submitted the assignments and mocks, which means she did follow all the protocols that we suggest every time, and the discussion groups that students are part of at VIFHE is what also benefited her a lot. So this was Hira. Now, quick study plan I want to share with the people who are joining the Resit batch, or even the regular student who are behind. They can even use such a plan. It's a very simple plan. Minimum 4 hours study time you need to find out every day in 24 hours, maybe before you go to the work, after you come back, or split between the two parts. For practice, highly recommend that minimum study hub section A and one kit. Even she also confirmed that you should be doing for section B minimum one kit. If you're opting for Kaplan, for example, so Kaplan you need to do for A and B, and study hub for A as well. For CRQs, last 6 years questions you should target, and in the last month, I will also share a list of hot questions, 25 to 30 questions that you also should be targeting in the last month. So this should be the plan for the remaining days. There are a lot of days left. Don't worry, you have ample amount of time. Just stick with the plan and you'll be able to make it. If you are interested in joining the Resit batch, you can contact the admission department at this number. They will be happy to help you. Plus, you can even directly go to our website. Just go to the website. Just go to the website and you select the course. We are offering massive 35% off on this paper. You can enroll yourself. Everything is automated. You'll get the access of the course. Also join the free global FM group. The team has just shared the link in the chat box. If you're not part of WIFI's global free groups, where we provide support to the students, be part of that. You can even contact me at this number for any help, guidance, clarity, whatever you need, you can contact me at this number. So those students who are planning for the reset, don't waste your time. Get into the course. You will be getting a planner, a weekly target, as she mentioned, and you will be in the right direction. Last, reset plan. Reset batch is what we are offering now. Any student thinking that, okay, I don't need to go through the entire syllabus, entire content, which is part of the reset batch. I need to focus on key areas, selected important topics. You can opt for revision batch, which is at a huge discount. We will be starting that in the month of August, the first week of August. You can be part of that. The best thing is that this revision batch includes mocks, same as the reset batch. So that's the good point. Even though there will be no live classes or assignments in the revision batch, but mock facility is part of this revision batch. So you will be getting access to top hot 25 to 30 areas of exam with practice, and the mock facility will be part of this, including the revisions. So you can opt for revision batch if you want to focus on the specific topics. My free webinars, as always, will be conducted in the month of August, which is free for all the self-study students who still want to take the benefit from VIFHE and they are not joining any batch. So this is the plan that I've shared with you people. I've shared the admission department number as well. You can directly go to the website and also enroll. I hope this is clear to all of you. Let's take few questions in the comment section. So it is possible to complete all compulsory. Okay. Shireen, I would say the recent ones, the compulsory recent one, like last 3 to 4 years questions that are part of compulsory past paper question section, target them first. The recent ones, target them first. I will be soon sharing a list as well. That is also what you can target. Okay. Not all, at least the list that I'll share, all the recent last 3 years questions. Okay. Guys, thank you very much for being part of the session. I hope this session did help you. This session did highlight the important reasons for failure, the tips and tricks. In the next upcoming days, your practice should be considering the tips and tricks I shared with you people. I hope Hira Ajmal will be a good source of motivation for you people to work hard and really bring good marks. Satisfied? Happy? Please share your feedbacks in the comment section. Everyone, yes or no? So thank you very much. I hope the session helped you, will further help you in the upcoming exam. If you will join VIFHE, see you then in the next live class next week with specific plans, actions that we'll be sharing with you people. And remember, me and my team will be with you till the last day. Thank you very much. Rizwan Mania signing off.